It's April 3rd, I'm Tom Glasson, welcome to The Roast. I'm sorry, we're doing a story on the environment today. Is this recycled paper? Yesterday's script. Excellent. It's April 2nd, I'm Tom Glasson, welcome to The Roast. Tonight on The Roast, the Royal Commission into Union Corruption pushes on. MPs make plans to ban the rights of activists boycotting environmentally unfriendly businesses. And we'll get to the bottom of why there are so many broken flamingo eggshells under my desk. But first, here's Mark Humphries with the headlines.
Tobacco company Philip Morris will stop manufacturing cigarettes in Australia by the end of the year. But if ex-smokers are anything to go by, they'll have a sneaky manufacture now and then, and only when they drink. Hardest hit by the closure will be patriotic smokers who don't want their cancer made in China. The Melbourne plant has been operating for 60 years, or what smokers call a really long life. An unidentified drone which crashed in South Korea is believed to have been sent from North Korea. As you can see, North Korea assembled the drone over a period of 12 months, receiving a different part of the aircraft each month from Drone Monthly magazine. And they painted it sky blue, since that's the perfect camouflage colour, except if it's on the ground, where most North Korean military devices end up. South Korean officials say the drone was equipped with a Japanese camera, but had no ability to transmit images. So even if the drone wasn't discovered, it probably would have raised suspicions when it stopped off at the chemist to get the photos developed before heading back to North Korea. Officials also identified the plane as North Korean, since the Korean words on the batteries were of a type only used north of the border, and they also had the Kim Jong Energizer logo. It's yet another embarrassment for the reclusive country, although it's safe to say the news is undoubtedly being reported differently in North Korea.
North Korea successfully sends photos of South Korea to South Korea.
And finally, astronomers now believe planet Earth is up to 100 million years younger than we first thought. Poor Earth, first we thought it was flat, then we thought it was really old. So just to confirm, Earth is round, it's still pretty old. All this confusion could have been avoided, of course, if the Earth had just provided its birth certificate like Mr. Trump asked. Now that scientists have confirmed Earth's age, they will turn their attention to finding out the true age of Jared Leto, because that man is not 42. For The Roast, I'm Mark Humphries.
Thank you, Mark. Well, moving on, and the Prime Minister's Royal Commission into Union Corruption has been labelled by some commentators as a trap for opposition leader Bill Shorten. But if that doesn't work, I've always had luck trapping pollies with the old stick, box and kissable babies technique. Now, Tony Abbott has pledged to expose union corruption, and so he should, because just look at what these corrupt union officials are spending money on. $9,000 to go to a country music festival, $9,000 to go on a book tour, $10,000 to attend sporting events, and claiming back more than $1,000 for competing in an Ironman. Sorry, this is the list of the Prime Minister's actual travel expenses. So, no need for the Royal Commission to get their hands on this. And just to be safe, in the latest development, the Royal Commission has ordered 5 of the unions under investigation to put together 7 years of financial records in just 1 week, something that union leaders slammed.
Any organisation of any substance to put together in readable form 7 years of records in 1 week is absolutely untenable and unfair to the highest degree.
No, 7 years of records in 7 days is completely reasonable. I mean, it took God only 6 days to create the whole universe. No, I'm just kidding, it took billions of years, which is approximately how long it's going to take to get 7 years of union documents together. But what happens if the unions end up missing the document deadline?
They have been warned that failure to produce documents could lead to up to 6 months jail.
6 months in jail for withholding documents compared to just 3 months in jail for withdrawing $24,000 worth of union money. So no surprise then that union leaders are outraged by the Royal Commission and have labelled it a witch hunt.
Tom, if this was a proper witch hunt, we'd round up all the union officials, tie them to a chair, and then throw them in the lake to see if they float or sink. You know, due process. Floaty guilty, sinky goody. Or is it floaty goody, sinky guilty? I forget. Either way, they're totally deady, so it always ends badly for the witches. But when this is all over and done with, and Labor are back in power, they are not going to forget how they're being treated during this Royal Commission, because they're going to have to sit at a big desk looking like they're a naughty child awaiting punishment from their parents. And on screen, there'll be a strapline that says their name right next to the word corruption. And dreams of revenge will plague their minds during relentless questioning.
For the 18th time, answer my question. Did you accept secret donations for your election campaign?
I have no recollection of that, Your Honour. But I will recollect this.
You bet your ass I'll recollect this.
See, you don't need to have even done anything, you just look guilty by association. Now, say, as a hypothetical, someone on this show got a taste for the delicious eggs of the endangered flamingo. I mean, he might reach a point where embezzling the entire budget of the show seemed like the only rational solution at the time. But the whole show would be tarred with that dirty, dirty brush.
I mean, it solves one mystery. What have you done?
You mean, what have we done, Tom? I'm absolutely innocent of all allegations against me. But I'm incredibly guilty of eating those endangered flamingo eggs.
Drag me into this, give me that.
Too late, you're sitting next to me. They already think you did it. Tom and I are men of integrity who would never do anything to bring this organisation into disrepute. I'm never going to stop.
Sure.
Eat the egg,
No,
Tom.
I'm not going to eat that.
They already think you have.
Hey, we'll be back in a minute.
Put it in your mouth.
While Nick chows down on flamingo eggs, why don't you jump on Twitter and tell us about any weird eggs you've eaten? Ever eaten a really weird bird egg? We'd love to hear about it at The Roast TV or hashtag RoastTV.
Well, next up tonight, industry groups and coalition MPs want to ban activists from encouraging boycotts of businesses on the grounds that their products damage the environment. But don't worry, Australia, the coalition is still working hard to give us, in return, the right to be bigots. Fair to say it's been a great year for racist lumberjacks so far. Now, currently, organisations like GetUp are not allowed to encourage a boycott of a product or a business unless they are selling products that damage the environment. For example, by using old-growth timber or overfished seafood. But now the coalition wants to get rid of those exceptions as well, because there's nothing more feng shui than a desk made from trees old enough to have been pissed on by a T-Rex. So these MPs will stop at nothing to stop people from stopping people buying things that kill the environment. Stop the stops! Stop the stops!
Well, I boycott your boycott on my boycott. No gives, no returns.
You can't boycott my boycott.
I said no returns.
Oh, miss! But if these MPs are successful, the activist groups will have to rely solely on their reputation on these issues to get their point across.
Harvey Norman is a large Australian-based retailer of furniture, bedding and electrical goods. Now, we can't say anything bad about Harvey Norman, but remember, this is a GetUp ad. Harvey Norman, you know what we think.
Yeah, we know what you think, GetUp. And of course, if activist groups are taken out of the picture, then the responsibility of buying ethical products will rest on us, the consumer, kind of like it already does when it comes to discerning diamonds from blood diamonds at jewellery stores. But to question the origins of every product is a lot of pressure to put on the same people who are still struggling to not buy cage eggs and occasionally recycle.
And so just over here we have the 6-seater dining setting made using 100% Australian timber.
Can I just ask, where was the wood sourced from?
Well, we have a warehouse out in Kogarah.
No, I mean, is it made out of sustainably forested wood, or is this Tasmanian blood timber?
Well, I can ask my supervisor, but we sustainably carried it from the truck in the car park.
No, right, but before that, I just need to know where it's from.
Probably like some sort of table factory or something. Look, I can give you a discount if you want.
No, I do not want, because allowing us to buy Tasmanian blood timber is just another notch in the government's endangered rhinoceros leather belt. After just 6 months in office, they have already closed 3 climate change organisations, encouraged Tasmania to reopen forests for logging, allowed dumping in the Great Barrier Reef, tried to ditch the carbon tax, and are now thinking about banning environmental boycotts. This is like Fern Gully, but the bad guys are winning. This is David Finch's Fern Gully. Jazz Twemlow, how did it get so bad?
The coalition is at it again, smothering Mother Nature with a carbon pillow and burying her in wood chippings. Honestly, the rate they're going, their slogan really ought to be, human existence is a passing fad. Their latest move, pushing to prevent environmentalists from telling you not to buy that sofa made from panda children, which is a shame because it goes so well with an elephant foot ivory stand. But none of this should come as a surprise. Since coming to power, the coalition has axed anything to do with or that even rhymes with climate, has moved to scrap the carbon tax, and has referred to the expertise of loggers for advice on what we should do with Tasmanian forests, or, as the loggers call them, Tasmanian future logs. Honestly, you wonder how Tony Abbott sleeps at night. Look at him, sleeping like a log, like a murdered tree. But don't worry, the Abbott government is going to tidy up this mess with a green army. But given the coalition's track record of shitting on the earth with as many different kinds of poo as possible, it seems far more likely they're actually softening our planet up so that their green army can step in and perform a fatality.
Hold. Hold. Hold.
That's a sign! Go, go, go! Egg, 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 egg.
It's worrying, isn't it, that that is actually believable. From a future coalition forest, I'm Jazz Twemlow.
Well, Labor, when you get back into power, there's your first Revenge Royal Commission subject, finding out where the coalition hid the body of the environment. Also, if you could sort out Nick's flamingo egg addiction while you're at it, that'd be great.
I have no recollection of any of the events mentioned and am innocent of all charges.
Oh my God, it's so good! It's so good!